It's a really breezy morning, but welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. We're going to talk about paint today. We were in the paint booth last week and then talking with a couple of people. We'll get into it as we walk through the building because we are at the very north side of the building. We're going to talk about paint. Before we start, I wanted to show you this unique paint job. It just rolled in for service. How cool is this, you guys? I'll let John pan around, but I hope everyone had a good weekend. This is a really cool paint job. We're going to talk about paint today. That's why I'm out here with John and Abigail in the wet. It's drizzling a little, and I wanted everyone to be able to see this really cool paint job before Kevin pulls it in for a nice wash. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, give him the thumbs up. He can pull that sucker in and wash it. Big thanks to our detail crew. That's a neat paint job. It adds depth to it. Woo! It's breezy, and I hope everyone had a good weekend. Normally I'd be out here in a jacket, Abigail. Normally, we wouldn't be outside when it's drizzly like this, but we're talking about paint today. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Last night, I was thinking about, what are we going to do for the show? I know a lot about what's going on in the building right now, what coaches are being built, and a couple of other things, what's going on in service with remodels. But I was thinking about our viewers who are making the decision, should I choose Marathon or not? They really don't get to see inside a lot of people's coaches because that's people's personal home. It's a custom home inside. What do you get to see? And John and I were talking about this morning also. You get to see the paint jobs. The paint jobs are very personal, just as personal and important as the interiors of these coaches. And so the owners are ensuring that you're seeing a part of their personality, a part of what they like, a part of what they do. Something very plain and dynamic as this coach right here. Take a look at that. Lots of white. Look at that black swooping. The paint is utilizing the windows to make that swoop. Something as very unique and strong as that. It's only a couple of colors, but look at how dynamic that is. Or something as traditional, thank you, John, as this guy right here. Look at the side of this coach. That's very, very traditional for an H3. I'm not even sure which coach this is. This is 1262. Very traditional in a RV standard. I mean, it's still dynamic and beautiful because, well, quite frankly, it's painted on the best chassis on the best coach ever built. Something like this, 1219. Excuse me, 1319. No, I'm all over the place. I apologize. 1362. I showed this on my Marathon Mondays with Mal page. Look at that. It's got the smoke coming up, beautiful candied colors. Or, let's say you own a business. This is actually the coach, and some of you guys might know this coach. This is the coach that I took my CDL test on. Dave Bash trained me on this coach. It was a Marathon-owned coach at the time. This was about 4 years ago. And take a look at the backside of this. This mural is got some of the McDonald's characters in it. Remember the McDonald's characters, the Fry Guys, Mayor McCheese, the Hamburglar, of course, Ronald himself, Bertie, the Fry Guys. All of those characters are integrated into that waterfall. And John, if you want to blast back and show everybody kind of the whole landscape, you really can't see it until you're right up on it because they're kind of ghosted in there. And that's really cool because the people who originally owned this coach and customized that paint job, they owned over 30 or so McDonald's restaurants. And because of that, they wanted to show everybody their personality on the exterior of the coach. And so I was thinking about it last night. This is what we do. I know Richard Lawrence is watching, who owns a late model Marathon, one of the coolest coaches we've worked on, in my opinion, but his paint job, very personal to him. And Richard, you could probably comment on there, and Abigail will probably take your comment and throw it at us. But Richard Lawrence's coach is very personal to him. He spent a lot of time with Pete Sutton doing that paint job because he knew people aren't going to come inside my coach and see it, but people are going to see it when I drive by. People are going to see it when it's parked. And it's part of the customization process, but it's part of the customization process that our owners get to share with the public. Let's boogie inside. One thing that really stood out to me this morning that I wanted to show you guys, this time of year, we have an employee, Jill Carell. She's actually in our purchasing department. Oh, here's her card. When you buy a Carell press, you're buying the best. This is what her family builds. Take a look at that. Carell cider presses. They're out of Anita, Oregon, which is, 20, 30 minutes from here. But she's in our purchasing department, and a lot of you owners probably know Jill when you are needing to source parts. They build these amazing presses in all kinds of different sizes, like small ones all the way up to jumbos, and they make this cider. Oh, my goodness. So it started as a little family project. I'm just going to try it right here. It started as a little family project, and now it's a business because the demand for these presses. Yeah. Carell cider presses.
Can I ask you questions while you enjoy your cider?
Oh, that's good. And she brings it straight from her presses, Abigail.
I'm a little jealous.
I know. She brings it for the employees to enjoy here. And so I wanted to
I'll be
try
at
this
that
live.
later.
Gosh, this is really good. Anyway, go ahead. You've got some comments before we head on down over to paint?
Yeah, we have a few, so I'm going to hope to try and get to all of them. First off, of course, someone wants to know when I'm going to do a test drive with Dave.
Yeah, in fact, I just saw Dave Bash. Let's back up just a second here. Yeah, good stuff. As my mother would say when she takes a drink of something good. Good stuff. Hey, Dave. Test drive with Abigail coming up, right?
Yeah, whenever.
Attaboy. Big thanks to Dave.
Whenever she's ready.
Whenever she's ready. Yeah. Okay. Have a good morning, Dave.
Thank you, too.
He's on the phones today. Dave, as you guys know, one of the busiest guys in this building, but Carell cider presses, man, that stuff is good. We're going to head on down this way and keep it moving.
Let me hit you with another one then.
Yeah, hit it up.
Someone asked, does Marathon do the paint through the windows over a vinyl underlay?
So Marathon will do whatever the customer wants. The question is, do we paint over the windows or do we do overlays? We actually do both. Doing an overlay, 1328 back for sale. That's a fantastic coach. If you're looking for a late model coach, 1328 is it. We're going to be bringing you a video from the desert, landed in the house. We are going to be bringing you a video from the desert in about 3 weeks of Coach 1328 down there. It is for sale, H3 double slide late model. We paint over windows if you want it. We run graphics through the windows so we don't cover all the windows in the back. Or we, and I'll show you this way, on Mr. Miller's coach. See how that window is not painted through? It is left like that so you can still utilize the natural light coming in. And what they do from a paint job way of looking at it is they try to make it extend through, but without painting over. Now, we have seen some paint jobs lately. If you look at Coach 1361 X3 double slide that we did, we painted over the windows. That's what the customer wanted. Another example would be 1358. The customer wanted some vinyl overlay. It's very difficult to replicate vinyl printing to paint because, paint on the coach and basically printing on vinyl is completely different. Plus, there are perforations in those vinyl overlays. So it's a very difficult thing. Good question, though, Abigail. All right, here we are at the south side of service. You see a lot going on. And you see Coach 1226 behind me. That's that remodel, Coach, that we're doing a big, massive remodel on. That's a 2016 non-slide corporate coach. We're going to be bringing you some videos on that later. But anyway, it's almost break time here at the mothership. So when that bell rings, we're going to head on over to paint, and I'm going to show you a few things. But in fact, before it's break time in 1 minute, let's zip in here, John. We'll go right through the steel shop. There's Kevin again. We've seen him all over the building today. What up, brother? Paul Farnsworth definitely in the house. So here's another paint job. This is something that we've been working on from a remodel standpoint, and that's just it. You guys know, like I've said so many times on this show, the chassis is built to go for decades, and you know, if the paint needs a refresher, and obviously the front end of this coach did, we're going to hit that up. All right. So one thing that stood out to me this morning, I'm going to see if I can. You know what? They might be spraying in there, so we're going to leave them alone. We're doing some training down here. It's almost break time, but the guys are doing some training in there, and that's a really cool thing because they're investing in the future. There are some new hires. Excellent. So we're going to go this way. And we're going to go in here. Hope we don't lose you on the Wi-Fi, but it is break time now. Stay with us because we're going to go into the booth and look again at the progress on 1370. Nice and warm in here. So I hope we don't lose Wi-Fi in here, because if we... So far we're good. Okay, here's the deal, you guys. We're doing a lot of hiring at Marathon because we're building a lot of coaches. And the thing is, and you can hear the sounds in here, they're actually heating this booth right now. And we've got a lot of new hires that are cross-training. It's really a cool thing. We're going to head on out of here because it's just so darn loud. And I apologize, but we'll go this way. I was talking with Ryan Fox down here. I saw Flavio avoid us. One of the things that is really important is cross-training employees. And that's one thing that the paint department is doing so that everybody is learning different aspects of the paint department, from body work all the way up to being able to spray in the booth. And so we saw some of that cross-training this morning. That's really cool because these new hires are learning a trade. They're learning to cross-train. They're learning to be more valuable to not just this company, Marathon Coach, but to themselves. They're adding to their resume. They're adding to their abilities. And that's a really cool thing that Marathon's doing, is they're taking new hires and expanding their skills. All right. We're going to boogie right on here. It's all right.
Real quick, Mal.
Yeah.
How long does a paint job take?
It depends. It could be, how long does a paint job take is the question from Abigail, if you guys didn't hear it. It could be a 28-day paint job. It could be a 40-day paint job. You know, something like this trailer. This could be, a 10 or 15 day. It just depends on the complexity of the paint job. And so, we've got it down to a really good science, for the lack of a better term. That sounded weird to say, but it's the truth. So we're going to walk right down here. I see my man Ryan wearing the new Indio shirt. That's what I'm talking about. And we got permission from Sarge to go in here on break time. What's up, Andy? Lights are off. Oh, Andy's going to go turn the lights on for us. Big thanks to him for doing that. They turned the lights off while they're on break. But thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Come on in, everybody. So last week you saw this, and it had the base coat, and it had all the lines on it. Now, take a look at how much progress happened over a week. Go ahead, John. I'll follow you. And we're in here again because I really wanted to show this coach on week 1, week 2, and we're probably going to be checking in on this guy next week before some of us head down to the desert. Now, if you remember, the owners of this coach loved their current paint job. They're currently in a marathon, and they love that paint job so much that they wanted to emulate it on their new coach. They made a few changes. And so it's going to be very similar to their current, but a little bit different. And as you know, that's Marathon's policy. No two coaches are built alike. A big thanks to John for getting us a nice vantage point from where he is standing up on the riser. Very, very cool. This is coach 1370, and it's about 2 weeks from rolling out of paint. I could be wrong. It could be about 3. All depending, like we said earlier, on the complexity of the paint job.
That is definitely.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, very, very cool. And from here, you can see that's a color print off of what it's going to look like. And right behind John on his left-hand side is what the front's going to look like. Awesome, awesome. Let's boogie this way. Big thanks to the paint department for letting us jump in here. All right, we're going to go back out to this main room. Did we lose Abigail? Here she comes. All right. We didn't want to lock you in there. All right, so like I was telling you guys, it just really struck me that the exterior is so personal to the owners of the coach because that's what they're sharing with the public. They're not going to invite you into their salon, their galley, their bedroom and show you their coach. That's for their family and friends. To the general public, that's a privacy thing. That's their personal home. But the exterior is such a personalized thing. And we showed this last week, but here we are in this room. Another thing that Marathon does that I think is really great is we have 2 really good finishers, and I call them finishers, Alonzo and Shannon. They're down on the production floor. We are allowing the clear coats to cure for a period of time, and then we do the cutting, the buffing, and the polishing down on the production floor while the coach is being installed, produced, and what have you down there.
At least a month, right?
At least a month. John's absolutely right. So we let it cure that clear coat for a month, and we have seen that really helps eliminate the swirls and other things that you see, the imperfections in the clear coat. And it's very important for the clear to cure properly. And so that's one thing that we're doing now is making sure that happens. And then they're doing the cutting and buffing down there with Shannon and Alonzo. And I've watched Alonzo. Oh, my goodness. So talented, you guys. But, I always get nervous when they take that certain grit. They take this stuff right here. And they just start sanding away on these coaches, all these beautiful coaches. But they know what they're doing. They know it's just like these paint jobs. Just like, Flavio and Sarge and Jorge and those guys do down here. It's a part of the art is letting that clear coat cure and then being able to sand it down properly, cut it, buff it, and polish it. Very cool. Abigail, what do you got for us? some nice
Yes.
fenders here.
Our friend Ron says it's nice to see a printed poster of what the paint on the coach is going to look like. Does Marathon do a computer printout of what the interior will look like for the customer?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So yes, just like the exterior and like these paint panels are, we send after the spec meeting for a custom coach, we will send fabrics straight to the people. We'll send them home with them sometimes. We can do all kinds of different videos of what it's going to look. We've also done some amazing Photoshops of like, here is a coach. You're going to buy a 2017 X3, but you're going to change the sofa to look like this. You're going to change the dinette table to look like this, and your floor is going to look like that. We're going to change the floor from wood to ceramic tiles. Through our marketing team, who I am with right now, we've done some amazing Photoshop skills where we literally show. There's a beautiful coach right there. Look at that guy. We've shown what it's going to look like in that coach for the customer, so they can say, "Oh yeah, I like it," and it really helps them see it instead of just laying a tile over wood on the floor and saying, "Yep, looks good." What we can do is we can Photoshop that coach properly. A lot of skill.
Another one for you.
Yeah.
Is the upper windshield wiper package still available on the H345 for 2023?
Someone asking me about windshield. Who's asking me about windshield wipers?
That's Lawrence. I don't want to mess up his last name. Manaldi?
Yeah, Lawrence, absolutely. He's been watching this show since day one. We're going to zip through this real quick. Woo, that is a smelly, dirty booth. That is our polishing booth, you guys. What's that? Okay. So, Lawrence is asking a good question about windshield wipers, and I know he's a professional driver, or at least I believe he's a professional Prevost driver. I'm not sure on that, but I can guarantee you this. Marathon has the latest technology when it comes to the Prevost chassis. So these chassis come direct from Prevost, from Quebec. So if it's something that you've seen, Lawrence, most likely Marathon's going to have it. What do you got there? John, we're going to head this way.
Someone says, his name is Steve. He says, I would like to ask a question, but please don't take it in a negative way. When is Marathon going to update their dashboard?
Oh my goodness, what a great question. What a great question. And that's just it. I don't want to take the cushy questions. I want you guys to ask me the tough questions. Put me on the spot, because if I don't know the answer, I'll blow you off on camera. It's great, right? No, if I don't know the question, if I don't know the answer to the question, I'll just address it later. But on this is a good question. The question is, when is Marathon going to update the dash? You guys, I'm going to keep it very simple for you. When Prevost makes updates, so does Marathon. So when Prevost brings out something new, Marathon does too. We build on the Prevost chassis. We're very proud to have a great relationship with the Prevost company. We've done it for 40 years. Next year was our 40th year building on the Prevost chassis. And so, there's a lot of chassis out there that you can own an RV on, but none is better, hands down. And I think not just Marathon owners, but anyone who is really looking at it from a stepping outside of what they own or what they are buying or what they have owned. The Prevost chassis is number one. It's number one for so many different reasons, not just longevity and comfort. Kurt and Chris, the heartbeat of the service department here at the mothership. There they go, taking off, doing what they do. It's break time. But here's the deal, you guys. Thank you so much for all of these questions. When Marathon is the leader when it comes to innovation, but we're not just going to bring gimmicks to market. We vet them. We do a lot of R&D, research and development. We make sure that what we bring, like a new dashboard or like new audio visual or new plumbing or even something as minuscule as lighting. You can't look at that as a minuscule thing. How about this? How about clear coat? We've been talking about clear coat today. That's something that we worked on for a couple of years so that we could eliminate issues for the owner, not just on day 1 or day 100, but 10 years down the road. We want that paint job and clear coat to stand the test of time. And so Marathon does a lot of research and development into everything they bring to market. That's kind of the best way I can answer. When is Marathon going to update this? When is Marathon going to update that? We build, I'm going to quote Steve Irvin, our CFO and our COO. A lot of you guys know him. We build what the owners want. We build what the owners and what the buyers of our coaches will buy. And so that's what we do, but we are still pushing the envelope in research and development to bring the latest updates to coaches. I guess that's the
great.
Best way I can answer it.
I mean, everyone, people are in agreement with you.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope the leadership of Marathon agrees with me in saying that. I know, I'm quoting our leader, but it's the truth. We build what people want to buy.
Yeah.
And so that's, what they are using. And that's another thing that we could talk about. And let's walk this way so people don't get bored of these bays. Let's just turn around here, John, so people can see these beautiful paint jobs.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah, one more thing I want to say, though, Abigail. It's important to remember that, the owners, they're the ones that are in the coach. They're the ones that are getting into the cabinetry. They're the ones that are sitting having breakfast at the dinette. They're the ones that are watching the TV. They're the ones that use it as an office, use it as a traveling experience with their families, with their dogs. They go to dog shows. They go hunting. They go fishing. They work. They go to Polson. They go to Mountain Falls. They go all over Petoskey. They go all over the country. And they're the ones using these coaches. We build these coaches for what they need. So, yeah, could we put a car in the bays of an H3? Yeah, we could do that. It would be very unstable. It would fall apart and be unsafe and probably only be useful for one person. But that's not what we do here. We build the best luxury coach that is functional for the people that want to buy them. I'm going to get off my soapbox here because I'm already clean.
Great. Beautiful.
I can dig it.
We have a question of why 500, not 600 horsepower?
Okay, so like I'm saying, someone asking about horsepower, we build on the Prevost chassis, you guys. Prevost builds the safest, most comfortable ride. They put a Volvo engine in it. And, well, partially because Volvo Truck, the company, owns the Prevost company. But the deal is this, you guys. You can go anywhere throughout the United States and get that coach service. Not just at a Prevost service center. There's over 20 Prevost service centers strategically placed. Boy, that sounded like an infomercial. Strategically placed throughout the United States. But how about right next door? See that Volvo sign right over there? That's not a Prevost service center. That's one of the best Volvo service centers, though, in the nation, not just the West Coast. And literally, see that Volvo sign behind me? It's literally right next door to Marathon.
I don't think we can see it. It's too
okay, well, let's go. But here's the deal. You want something that's functional. We don't build these chassis. We build on the Prevost chassis. We are not a motorhome, you guys. We're a bus conversion. You guys know this. A lot of you guys know this. So to say, why not 650, 750 horsepower? If you want to take a 45-foot, $2 million bus, 75, actually these things will go 75 miles an hour pretty easy. If you want all that horsepower, to do 75 up a steep hill, be my guest, but it's not going to happen in a marathon, and it shouldn't, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You guys are getting me on my soapbox this morning. We build on the Prevost chassis, you guys. We build what Prevost gives us. It is the best chassis, and it's not going to be, a Carroll Shelby Mustang. It's not a Mustang Bullet.
There's plenty of people in the car who agree with you,
Yeah, it is. And you see where it says Volvo Trucks right there? Literally right next door to Marathon is one of the best service centers, and owners who are watching this show will tell you it is a huge benefit to Marathon Coach to have that right next door. Right next door to Marathon is a great service center. And that's why that's another reason why you want the Prevost chassis, because you can get it serviced. They're 45-foot land yachts, you guys. They're going to have issues. They're not perfect. And so when you have an issue, when you need a new Norgren valve, as Bernie would say, where do you go? Are you going to drive it all the way to Marathon? No. You're going to go to Prevost Miraloma or Prevost in Dallas, you know? Or you're going to go to a Volvo service center like we have right next door to Marathon. Anyway, that's it right there. Any other questions there, Abigail? No other insights into, we started talking about paint jobs, and I'm going to get back to it. It is one of the things that's really cool that these owners get to share with the public. You're not going to go into their coach and see their salon and sit there and check out the TVs. You'll see it on video, but you're not going to be able to go in and experience it. But when you're on the road and you see these beautiful things driving by you, you get to really see it. And that's really cool. It's part of the coach that is customizable, extremely customizable, from McDonald's characters to, really great lines. And our paint department is the best, you guys. Their skill is amazing, and we're training the future of the Marathon paint team. So it's really cool. Anything else before we get on, boogie on out?
Can you hear me? Okay, I wasn't on last time. Yes, there's one last question. Can a Marathon be set up for full 4-season use? We drove through Grand Teton National Park. Yeah, there you go. On Saturday, and we're reminded how cold it can be with several inches of snow.
Oh, what a great question. Man. So someone's asking about the weatherization of a Marathon coach. Marathon goes to great lengths to make sure that the coach is weatherized properly. So whether it be certain bays have a heater, certain bays have air conditioning. Like if you have audiovisual equipment, you need air conditioning in that area. If you've got plumbing, you need to make sure that it's insulated properly and it's heated. Now, in the Grand Tetons or wherever, if you're going to go up to Alaska, we have a lot of our owners that go up to Alaska. Where we're actually building right now on the floor a custom coach for a couple that spends a lot of time going to colder climates, and the coaches are designed to do so. Whether it be some of the insulation that we do in the bays, or whether it be the spray coating that we do on the roof, which protects from the more extreme heat and the more extreme cold. It's the things that Marathon Engineering does to ensure that coach can handle the climate changes, because it's not just going and staying in cold. It's going from 120 degrees when it's really hot down in the desert and then going to Alaska. Marathons can handle that weather. Good question. We're going to get out of here. Abigail's freezing. John and I are wearing our short sleeve, and we're doing okay, but it's cold. Be yourself and do good things. Thank you so much for following us. And a big thanks to the owners of Coach 1370 who have allowed us to show their coach throughout the paint process. And that's one of the things that, I was thinking about last night and this morning, and talked to John about it this morning as I was almost running out of gas in my own car driving to work. I was thinking about that's what people who own Marathons are sharing with the public, is these exterior paint jobs. They're very personal to them, and they're sharing them with you guys. Very cool. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it one more time. Be yourself and do good things. Have a good week. Be safe. Take care of each other. And buy a Marathon. I'm out.